Welcome, everybody. This is Books Cafe, sponsored by Free-eBook. If you're into sci-fi, we've got a treat for you today. I love sci-fi. I grew up of the Foundation trilogy and just love it, because we've got a very, very special guest for you today. Before we get into that, I just want to take a second to show you our site, free ebook. You get 5 free books a month. Our whole purpose is to support authors. So if you're a new author, you're a starting out author, and you want to get build that community. We have about 220,000 people visit our site every week. We've got tons and tons of categories, so it's easy for people to find your books. It's free. You upload your, you can and starting out. We've just added this, so if you've missed any of our previous episodes, you can watch them here on the main page. And then we break things out into like our best books, our must read, our bibliographies, best books on making money. These bundles always change, right? And then of course we've always got our latest arrivals. So it's free. You can download 5 books a month, and I think you'll be quite happy with that. So moving on, I'll just move that out of the way. And we've got a very special guest. I'm going to bring her on right now. She's written the first of a series of sci-fi books, and she's got a whole pile of merchandise that we're going to show you that goes along with it. So welcome, Lisa. Happy to have you on the show.
Thank you for inviting me, Scott. It's a pleasure.
So tell me, how did you get into writing science fiction?
It's a little bit of a long story, but I'll condense it. Right after 1989, when the anti-communist revolution happened in Romania, that's where I'm from, there was this explosion of information from the Western world. All the books that were censored and denied and not translated and not available on the Romanian market during communist times, everybody rushed to get this influx of foreign culture. Among which the many books that they were published in Romania, like mass-produced, were these on science fiction. We got, finally we got Isaac Asimov. You guys had him for decades, but in Romania got there early 90s. Then we had the UFO literature, New Age, and all that good stuff. So I was fascinated with the topic. We had some sci-fi clubs and sci-fi works in the Romanian literature before, but they were published years before the communists fell in 1989. Prior to the revolution, you could hardly see anything quality material as far as content, and it was only like politics all over the place. So now we were able to tap into this Western fountain of knowledge. And I was immediately fascinated with these border sciences, sci-fi, UFO literature. I started researching, and almost 30 years later, here we are today. Not only did I publish this work on Amazon, I hope you guys can see it well in the camera. And this is my work copy, actually. It's the hard copy, because the current edition is available in Kindle only. I am working on the sequels as well to the Terran Chronicles. This is the first one, A Voyager in Chronospace. So not only I published that, but I right now I have the first short movie available in the series. My goal is to actually make it into a power franchise in the likeness of Dune, Star Trek, and Stargate. And I started with making it available for merchandise so people can connect with the brands, the Star Voyager and the Voyager in Chronospace. So in a nutshell, this is the journey.
Wonderful. Well, that's really exciting and quite a story. I think a bibliography is in order too. You're telling your whole story of coming from Romania to California. Tell us a little bit about what the Terran Chronicles are about.
Yes, the logline is as follows. Human slave on a distant planet rebels against his alien masters and returns to our Earth and starts traveling through space-time to change not only the course of his life, but the course of history itself. So A Voyager in Chronospace is the first of the Terran Chronicles, is the first installment, and it basically deals with space-time traveling, aliens, and UFOs. These are the three main themes. But there are other secondary themes that are prevalent in the series, out of which no less is the environmental focus. Is a book that really deals with planet Earth and how we can keep it healthy and good for future generations. So we have the environment, we have spirituality, and all kinds of like new age tendencies. But mainly, space-time traveling would be the backbone of the first installment and the rest of the series.
Cool. So I know, like all the other authors in the world, that you had this idea. You just sat down on the keyboard and out it came in a couple hours. So. Of course, we know that never happened. So what were some of the challenges you encountered as you were going through the process of writing your book?
As I mentioned, the creation process itself dates back 3 decades. So that was a lot of material reading and sifting through and selecting, because there's a lot of information out there and you want to focus on what's pertinent and what's exciting and what's entertaining as well. So that was a challenge to actually cover this much material, but in 30 years you actually have some time to deal with, so you get your ducks in a row. So that was that. And then not only to organize it into a cohesive form, but also make it into structure it into a movie screenplay, because this is the primary form of expression of this content as of now. It's a movie screenplay that waits to be shot for higher budget. So I just started with the short films in the series, and I'm talking to some possibly interested investors so we can get actually the big feature film out there in the not so distant future. But yeah, that was a challenge to adapt from novel to screenplay. That is a lot more demanding in terms of format.
Right. This might be a good time to show you the trailer that you put together.
Oh yeah, please, that'd be great. Yes, that's the first movie in the series, and I have more coming up. They will be uploaded on YouTube. This one is on space-time traveling, mainly focused. Then I have some on the sense of history. What is the history of on Earth? UFOs, what they are and what they do, who pilots them. I have one about aliens, so they're all upcoming. This is the first one. So thank you, Scott, for showcasing it.
Okay, take me just a second and I'll bring it right up. And it's about 5-6 minutes long. Here we go.
The Terran Chronicles, A Voyager in Chronospace. Part 1. Odyssey of the Space-Time Travelers. A journey to freedom and power. Have you ever dreamed of roaming the galaxy in your own ship? Crossing space and time at will? And not only seeing the future, but living in the future. Anything is possible. It is a matter of time. Space-time traveling. Aliens, and UFOs. This is the story of Remy Vincent Danico, a human slave on a distant planet who rebels against his alien masters, returns to our Earth, and travels through space-time so that he can change not only the course of his life, but also the course of history itself. Remy's story of freedom and power can become your own story. Welcome to the future. Welcome home, the new planet Earth. Now you, too, can change history. Pilot your own UFO. Befriend aliens. Look them in the eyes, those big, strange, alien eyes. Terrans and aliens were not that different after all. There's an entire universe out there. Dare to touch the sky, from the moon to the earth, from the future to the past and back again. Rediscover your world and become a voyager in chronospace. Awaken your sense of awe and wonder. It's history like you've never experienced before. Believe, live, and relive the splendor of different times and places on Earth and other planets. Visit and revisit them over and over again. You'd feel like you've been doing it for years. Future, past, and present converge in this one moment, now. You're invited to go on an exciting safari through human civilization. Prehistoric. Ancient. Medieval. Modern. Futuristic, alternative, parallel. Every visit to a planet can bring challenges, risks, and opportunities. Travel huge distances, discover and explore new places, meet new people, and learn new things. A unique experience equal to none. Free, non-stop entertainment. Anything goes. See the magic of Earths and stars together. Reach the edge of the galaxy and beyond. Enjoy that feeling of exploration and discovery. Have a good time and safe journeys. Imagine new possibilities. Create better realities. Expeditions can run thousands of years deep and wide, across times and spaces. Forever. Unlimited freedom. Find new ways to view, make, and change history. The future is bright. The future is here. It's so amazing that the world may not be quite ready for it. Are you ready for the ultimate space-time adventure? Exhilarating, innovative, revolutionary. The all-original interstellar saga, The Terran Chronicles, A Voyager in Chronospace. A new power franchise in space opera in the likeness of Dune, Stargate, and Star Trek, with endless skies of stars. Part 1. Odyssey of the Space-Time Travelers. A journey to freedom and power.
You just did an amazing, magnificent job on that, Lisa. It's wonderful.
Oh, thank you. This is actually this movie premieres on your show today before it even gets uploaded to YouTube. So you got the first scoop. The short film, yes, is actually in post-production. We're making the final adjustments before we upload it on YouTube. And again, it will be followed by other shorts in the series. So Odyssey of the Space-Time Travelers. And this is an edited version of it. The extended version that will go on YouTube runs about 8.5 minutes long. And that also details on the merchandise that comes with the movie.
Right. So the Pentagon They finally admitted after 30, 40, 50 years of denying that UFOs indeed exist. They're not saying where they come from, or they're not saying if they know where they come from. So I'm curious, what's your opinion? We know UFOs are real. Things are flying through the skies and under the seas. And what's your take?
Based on, as I mentioned, decades of research, UFOs are very interesting vehicles, interdimensional space-time traveling vehicles. So if you ask who is in the UFOs, who pilots them, you can go by a quiz. So the occupants of the UFOs are A, from another planet, B, from a different time or space, C, from another dimension, or D, all of the above. So what do you think the correct answer is, Scott?
I would go all of the above, because I'm sure it's not just one group that's running a single UFO. There's lots of different types.
You got it. As a matter of fact, again, based on research and compiling data from different sources, historical, nonfiction, or plain literature throughout ages, so far there have been identified and somewhat cataloged about 200 different species of aliens that were present in one form or another on the earth, that influence religion, history, culture, literature, everything that you can think of.
Wow. I had no idea it'd be that many.
Yeah, and those that are actually fully described and compiled. Some people actually took the time to compile this information. And out of the 200 so far, I would say maybe at least a dozen are prominently featured in the Terran Chronicles of Voyager in Chronospace. So this is where you will see aliens showing their true faces and true colors and true forms and what they're doing here and how, that kind of stuff.
Cool. So, is it possible to travel through time, in your opinion?
Not only it's possible, it's actually done all the time, pun intended, because the very nature of the holographic universe allows for space-time traveling. So it happens all the time, and for the people in the future that I described in my work, A Voyager in Chronospace, is their favorite pastime. They travel to this world, say present day and past centuries, less advanced world, just the same way we would watch movies, but they watch them live. So to them, it's like free, nonstop entertainment. Say you wanted to watch a movie for about the reign of Queen Elizabeth, for instance. We watch, Kate Blanchett and the two movies that were made. Okay, if you are a space-time travel, if you are a person from the future, you don't have to watch the movie. You go back in your UFO and watch the action live. That's what the movie, the Terran Chronicles, is about.
Wow, that would be very, very cool.
Yeah.
Did you have an opportunity to watch Disney's Loki TV show?
No, I did not. Not that one.
I think you'll find it really, really fascinating, because it's all about the time stream and branches that go off because someone does something different than what they were supposed to do. And I think a lot of what you're talking about sounds like themes that are in that show. So that's really exciting. You're right on the cutting edge of the world of entertainment today, in my opinion.
Oh, thank you. That was the idea. And I'm actually connected with the world of entertainment because I co-manage a talent agency, a boutique talent agency in Los Angeles. So not only I deal directly with talent, but I am making these short films myself until I get the feature film all in place, financed, and casting and everything.
Well, I'm really excited for this journey that you're on, and to continually hear. Like, I'd love for you to come back and give us updates and tell us how things are going as you move forward. And I almost said, I should wait like 5 years and then I'll come back to a year from now and see it myself. But I can't wait 5 years.
Oh, you know what? I was thinking just about, as I was preparing for the show, I was thinking the other day, I don't know how popular the limericks are here in the United States. I know they're a big thing in England, but there is one for 5 lines, and it goes, there was an old lady named Bright whose speed was faster than light. She set out one day in a relative way and returned on the previous night. So that's to Einstein's
Beautiful.
theory. Yeah, so you can do anything. Anything is possible in space and time. And yes, you can change history, because not only is this done for fun, but there are special type of permits, what we call clearances in the Terran Chronicles. You get a clearance to actually fix history for the common good. So if there was an injustice or something like that, you don't just sit and watch, you can actually change it for the common good.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
So how do you see what you're doing and what you're creating impacting people in the world?
The overarching message of the Terran Chronicles and the Voyager in Chronospace is to bring people together. Because once people dive more into the content or and the movies come out, not only the characters belong to multiple nationalities, but it's a blend of culture and globalism that anyone pretty much can relate to. So the purpose is to realize that we can be one unified human species of planet Earth. So if we could stop arguing, especially over trivial stuff, and realize that we are here for a common purpose, and we can be united and happy and live in a good future, not a dystopian future, then that would be, that's the purpose of this project altogether. Bring people under the same roof, so to speak, bring people together.
It's a beautiful mission. I love it. So we're getting close to the end of our time together, Lisa, and I can't let you go without asking you, since this is all about time travel, and I'm thinking myself, who would I want to, but who would you love to go back in time and talk with?
Yeah, a couple of people. I would say one of my idols is Queen Elizabeth I of England, the first of England. So that's back in 1600s in Shakespeare's era. She was an extraordinary woman, and I would love to have a chat over tea or something. Coffee was not the thing back then, but tea probably was. So that's one. The second would be Romania's national poet, Mihai Eminescu, whom I admired since school years. And I would say the third one, I would go all the way to ancient times, and I would have a chat with Alexander the Great. That guy was an interesting character. He died young. He, conquered as much of the world as he could, but I think he was, a revolutionary spirit in his own way. So I'd like to have a chat with him.
That's interesting, because he was one of the ones I was thinking of, Alexander the Great.
Yeah, what is it that drew your attention on him?
Well, just the fact that he was able to expand so far in an era where the only way you could get around was walk or on a horse. So it wasn't like you could just fly somewhere and take it over. You had to, do those. It was small steps, and he didn't live that long. So that'd be pretty amazing. Genghis Khan, just this instant popped into my head. I think he would be fascinating to talk to, as long as you could make sure all the knives and swords and spears weren't pointed at me. And then the other one was Gandhi. I would be really fascinated to sit and talk with him.
Mahatma Gandhi. Yeah, he shaped up modern India's philosophy, you bet.
Yeah. And I think, it's an interesting question, because so basically everybody, we have a comment section, put a comment in as to who the 3 people in history you'd love to go and chat with if you could. But what I'm thinking now is you've got me going, Lisa, and I'm going, well, what about her, and what about him, Joan of Arc? I mean, there's just so many fascinating people, or people that have accomplished amazing things, Einstein, Tesla, Ford. It just goes on and on and on. And it would be just fascinating to be able to sit down and, like you say, have a cup of tea or have a cup of coffee and just chat with them for a couple hours and see what they have to say.
Yeah, that would be interesting. And also enjoy the journey, because just like think of the spaceport, you have a spaceport, you have an airport, and then you have a chronospace station. So people who travel in space and time, just like say a regular airport, you have to have eateries, you have to have some sort of entertainment, all kinds of facilities and logistics to accommodate the needs of that many travelers. So all of that and more is right here in Voyager in Chronospace. And if you're okay with that, Scott, I also wanted to show how people can connect with the brand itself, because as I mentioned, it's already merchandise. So when you see people wearing Star Wars t-shirts or Star Trek or anything, now this project has its own. So I wanted to show a little bit of that as well.
Sure. And didn't work. Oh, I know why. That's still the movie. Let's just go to the share screen.
Oh.
And we'll show your, and this is all, let me just bring it down a little bit here. This is all, the link to this is in the comments. So you don't have to worry about, tapping the screen or anything like that. Oh, I didn't notice this comment. Maria says, Greece votes for Alexander. Yes.
Yes.
And here is the, oh, let me do a different one than that. Here we go. Want to keep on brand. Here's the link. The link is in the comments, wherever the comments happen to be on whatever device you're watching. And tell us a little bit about the site.
Yes, so this is one of the sites that hosts the merchandise, because I decided to go, especially now with the ever-changing entertainment landscape in Hollywood, the old entertainment model doesn't hold as it used to be. So now I decided to reverse engineer the whole process. First, you have a movie, and then if it gains the following, traction, you come up with the merchandise. I'm like, okay, I'm going to put the cart ahead of the horses. I wrote the book. Okay, now I'm going to do the merch and then the short films. So what this is, Redbubble, let me show this. This is one, and the other one is TeePublic, but most likely Redbubble will come up. So when you type, if you type a Voyager in Chronospace shopping in the Google tab, it's going to come up with a number of products that lead you to the Redbubble Star Voyager site. So you can choose, pick and choose from a multitude of articles. I have this one here. It's a sticker, and this one runs less than $1.50. So that's what my purpose is, to connect with a mass of people, because the prices are close to nothing. So this one says, "Love your planet, Terra. It's your world." And it has a environmental message. So basically, you can start with a sticker that it's only $1.50, but the default products are the t-shirts. So that will come up first. And again, even if you don't have the website, if you type a Voyager in Chronospace shopping, Google does all the heavy lifting for you. Without the link, without the website, landing page, click funnels, all that stuff, you don't need it. A Voyager in Chronospace shopping. And then you scroll. You click on any item and scroll to the page. It's going to show you products. It's available. Each design is available on about 100 different items. So starting with sticker, with t-shirt, hoodie, tote bag, backpack, a frame, wall frame art, anything, you name it. That's another t-shirt I have. Keep calm and travel through space-time.
I like that one. I like that one. Keep calm and travel through space-time and see Alexander the Great.
Yeah, among others. You can see a lot of people. But again, this is for fun, free, nonstop entertainment. So yeah, this is, I'm actually on a media tour to promote this project. It's called the Star Voyager Tour. And like I said, the first short film premieres today on your show. So thank you for the opportunity.
And here's the Amazon page where you can get the Kindle book, and there's the link, but don't worry about having to type it in, because as I said before, everything is in the comments, so you can just tap or click in the comments and it'll take you to this page. You'll be able to find out more and more about it. So Lisa, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been highly entertaining and lots of fun. I want you to come back again. And particularly every time you come up with a new book, like let me know and come on and we'll talk about it. Do you have any last words, words of wisdom that you'd like to share with everybody before we head out?
Yes. So if you guys are into sci-fi or space-time traveling, aliens, UFOs, environment, anything like that, just keep an open mind, because if we decide to come together and listen to each other's stories and get to know each other better, even if we come from different cultures, that will drastically reduce or eliminate the social stress. The fact that we regard immigrants with, we look down on them, or the fact that we can't understand or don't care to understand the foreign language instead of undertaking a linguistic journey and learning that language and connecting with that culture. So it's a message of unity for the human species. So come together, learn from each other. It's gonna be fun.
Thank you so much for that. And thanks for joining us, everybody. We're usually Thursday afternoons. Make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. We've got a lot of really interesting authors lined up to share their stories and their books with you. And Lisa, thank you once again for joining us. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.